Hello all. So today's stream is kind of a short one and a sudden one because 29th of April is the day that Webnovel launches its biggest writing competition with a 10,000 prize giveaway for like the winner of it. I'm gonna assume that a lot of people who are not writers previously and are fans of reading web novels might be tempted to join. So here are some of the tips that might still be relevant for you. I'm not joining this year, as well as a couple of other authors who are not joining. But anyway, so for newbies who have not written before, and your first writing venture is into web novel in this competition, these are some of the things that you might want to find out or try to prepare before you actually get into it. So first and foremost, you have to understand that this competition is actually give me a second. Okay, so this competition is actually for people to sign an exclusive contract with Webnovel itself, which means chances are you can only qualify if you are writing to sell your work to Webnovel and you are not able to publish it elsewhere. So that's the contract. Okay, a few things you need to know about the contract is that there is a minimum word count for you to qualify for the grand prize itself or any of the nominations, which is usually about 120,000 words, 60,000 to 120,000 words. I'm not sure because the details are not up yet, but the page, you can take a look at the link in the description for today's stream. It's there. There are 9 topics that you can choose to enter with. So the themes are they no longer restrict it to female and male lead, although you might have to choose a category that you want to participate in. For anyone who is not familiar with this, female lead means romance. Male lead means everything else that is not romance centric. So that is their gender bias. I don't know why, don't ask me why, it just happens to be that way. So the 9 themes are werewolf. Okay, werewolf mostly is a female lead genre, but you can feel free to choose werewolf in a non-female lead romance setting, so that's fine as well. And then the second theme is actually monster and beast. This is definitely ML, which is male lead centric, but you can also choose to do monster romances or whatever now in FL. So they are more open this year. This is probably like the 3rd or 4th time that Webnovel is doing this kind of competition. So yeah, they have improvements, which I'm too bad because I'm done with them. Currently done with them. Right, and then the third theme is actually a staple within the FL community. It's CEO, billionaires, and mafia. So any of these big, powerful, hot guys that, just pulls in the readers. Yeah, mostly romance centric, but you can also do this without the, romance portion of it. It's fine. The fourth theme is actually system. System is a ML staple, but feel free to use this for your romance leveling up systems as well. There are a couple of web novel comics about this. So there's like a goddess creation system, something like that. There are like a ton of manhwas out there using systems and romance. There is even the very famous scumbag villain system, which is BL, and that is still a system, so feel free. And then the next theme is actually historical. So historical just basically means a lot of those it could include mostly cultivation, but not always cultivation. So feel free to, don't just limit yourself to Eastern historical, because the theme is so wide and there will be a ton of other writers doing the same thing. Learn to differentiate yourself. You can be doing like medieval times or forever, whatever I care for. It's just historical. They just tell you historical. Feel free to expand on that. And then everybody's favorite, it's fantasy. So fantasy can be female lead, can be male lead, it's up to you. And then there is this new genre that's out, it's teenage. So teenage is, okay, teenage just basically means that your main character should be a teenager. Okay, within the ages of probably like 15 to 19 years old, those are like teenagers. And then it should be targeted at those kind of readers as well. So it can be anything from adventure to romance, as long as it's targeted for teens, it's under the teen category. And then there is also one hotspot that's gaming. So it doesn't really have to be just esports kind of gaming. It can be things like virtual reality kind of gaming. So it's a very wide scope that anyone can actually participate in as well. And then for new tropes, I don't know what new tropes is. They have not specified. But I'm thinking that web novel is just being greedy, and whatever that you want to write that's not within the first 8 themes, you can just dump it under new tropes, and they'll be completely fine with them as well. So, one new thing about web novels WSA this year is that they are going to include Indonesian and Thai writing competition, which means you can write not just in English. It may or may not apply to these 9 themes for WSA, but they will try to include these 2 new languages into the writing competition. So, short history on how Web Novel actually found the WSA. So, first they did like a testing for Philippines, so only Filipino writers were allowed to participate, and because it was such an astounding success, by which I think Blips actually won, the second one that they opened out to everyone, which is like the first round of that WSA thing, yeah, I think JKS was the winner of that. And then subsequently, the one that I participated with, Monarch of Solio, was like the second round of the global one, but they did not include any other languages apart from English. So this time round, which is the third round of the global WSA, they are actually including Indonesian and Thai into it. So I'm not sure if it is, part of it. You can look for any of the web novel editors. If you are on Inkstone, just hit up the help desk. They should be there. Right, so this is what it is. These are the themes. So the themes are not a problem. The problem is for new writers. When you join, you're like, oh my god, where should I start? Okay, how long should I do this for? Okay, first things first, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to spend time for the next 4 months writing daily to update for the MGS? Because if you're going to, you have to actually sign off rights for your work for this competition. So I think it's only fair that you understand what's happening. There is a blog that I've written about exclusive and non-exclusive contracts, so head on to my website, go and look for that. It explains in detail what you are going to expect from each contract, pros and cons, and the competition would most likely only accept exclusive contracts. You are signing off your works to Web Novel itself for a monthly payout of USD $200 for a certain amount of words update. It's a 1,500 words up daily. So that is the condition that you have to write. And then you need about 50 chapters uploaded before you can lock any of those chapters for premium consideration for your exclusive contract MGS. Okay, so before that, you probably have to write about 12,000 to 20,000 words before you can apply to the editor to get a contract, which may take about a month. From previous experience, it took more than a month or so because it was overwhelming, the responses. And not gonna lie, but a lot of the editors that used to work with Web Novel for like past 2 years have actually left. Like there was a mass resignation. It could be because of a work contract ending, like coming to an end, and they didn't want to renew. But a lot of these editors that are currently with Web Novel right now are people who I have not talked to, people who have not communicated with us authors, and people who, just basically are there, but they're there to help you. So here is what you gotta do. First, you need to come up with an edited cover. You don't have to spend money yet. You just have to get something, edit it, and make sure that it's uploadable to like Inkstone itself. Second, you'll have to go and choose a title and then find yourself one of the tags you have to enter in the contest that is WSA once it opens on the 29th of April. So you still have about another 2 days to do that if you have not done so. Okay, do not create a book before the date. You have to create it once the contest opens. Otherwise, your book will not be qualified for the competition itself. So don't do that first. Keep it all in like your Google Drive or like your Word files and whatever not. Do not post anything yet. Prepare them first, okay? Just check if the dimensions are right. And then once you're done with that, it will take some time. You'll need to upload like 4,000 words or 5,000 words first for the system of Webnovel to actually publish this out. So you got to get that done first. The moment 29th of April says, okay, the competition has started. Okay, upload all these 5,000 words, which is about, I don't know, not really, it's about 2 to 5 chapters. Okay, depends on your chapter length itself. How long should your chapter length be? For FL it's recommended about 1,002 to 1,005 words. For ML it's recommended from about 1,006 to about 2,002 words per chapter, but of course it's up to you. Right, because Webnovel is being more free right now. This is just a guideline from previous experiences of somebody who used to write there very regularly and is still in contact with the whatever nots. Okay, so this is what you have to do. And then 50 chapters. You gotta write 50 chapters, and you do not actually necessarily have to update it every day, but keep it consistent. I'll say 3 times a week. Schedule it 3 times a week before you get the contract. You have to maintain this upload schedule. And while you are uploading all these, keep a stockpile. Because once your MGS begins, it's not that you're going to have inspiration or the discipline to actually write and upload daily. Sometimes, you know, if you're a student, you have examinations coming on. Sometimes your internet fails. Sometimes you're feeling sick. Sometimes you're burnt out and everything. Sometimes you have social life because, you know, the global restrictions for COVID travels and all is like, you know, lifting. So you might have all these life problems getting in the way. Stockpile, just stockpile like crazy. Okay, you need to stockpile at least 4 months worth of daily update the moment it releases. And you don't have to actually worry about the word count if you are signing up for MGS and you're doing the MGS, because by the time you actually finish 4 months worth of daily updates and every chapter is about a minimum of like 1,000 words, it's like 120,000 words. You have already written like 120,000 words, so you definitely will qualify. What I do recommend you to do before you actually do all this is do a plot. Outline your drafts. So once you actually outline what you want to write for the story from beginning to end, make sure that you have an exit strategy, because more often than not, it ends up in disappointment that your book is not taking off, that you're not actually getting the readers and exposure that you want from the competition. That's fine. Conclude the book, make it nice, and then work on a new project. Because why? Webnovel will never run out of writing competitions. If you think that, you know, halfway through and you're like, okay, this book is not taking off in this competition, well, it's fine, end it, okay? And then start a new one. Wait for the weekly writing competition, which is the WPC. So it's a writing prompt competition every week. There will be topics. Of course, it's not as comprehensive as WSA, so it's your choice. Or alternatively, because the WSA competition lasts for at least 6 months, you can actually stop halfway for the book that's not working out and start a new one. So previous WSA, I've seen more experienced writers do that, and then their second book takes off. So that's great for them and it worked out. You can do the same. So you can put one book on hiatus, and if you have not started your MGS, that's great, so you don't have to forfeit anything. But if you have, that's when stockpile comes in handy, or you might have to just forfeit everything that you have not updated for. Okay, do not try to write more than 2 books in the WSA, because the upload schedules will kill you. Literally will kill you. So that's my tip to you. If you have any other questions, please do check my website and my blog first. I've written a ton of these self-help for writers who are new, and all your questions should be there. If you cannot find it, you can leave it in the comment section, and I will try to, like, you know, help you out as much as possible. Because this year the editors are actually not hosting a lot of, you know, voice chats or helps for like authors. They just kind of drop the bomb and say, hey, the competition's back, now join. So if you have any questions, yeah, I'm here. That's all. It's a super short stream, so I hope this has been helpful. If there are any queries, you can also come to my Discord. It doesn't have to be in the comment section. I might not see the comment section on time. It's like burning queries, join the Discord. Alright, and you can just take a look at my blog, because everything, literally everything that I write is that it's mostly still relevant. you should not like have any other questions. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna get back to writing it single day alpha right now, and I swear I am never going to listen to Sanskar and actually take on her bait. So she baited me into joining werewolf competition, and I wrote werewolf CEOs, and I'm regretting every single thing because I don't like to write FL. But anyways,